One of the people that Claire and I interviewed recently on the podcast was a lady called Sabrina Pace-Humphreys. I actually mentioned her in the last workshop, only because we also talked to her quite a lot about the importance of knowing your why. But one of the best ways and systems that we can introduce to make sure we hit goals is the people that we surround ourselves with. So I have a very clear goal at the moment that I want to qualify for the Ironman World Championships, specifically in Kona, Hawaii. That now only happens every other year. So whilst I am motivated to qualify for the World Championships this year in Nice, if I did, it still wouldn't satisfy my need to race the Ironman World Champs in Kona. So one of the things that I need to do is surround myself with people that can help me achieve that. And Sabrina Pace-Humphreys put this in a really brilliant way that I hadn't heard summed up in this way before. And she said, so you need what she called the Fab Five. And those Fab Five were somebody that's been there before, somebody that's on the same journey, somebody that's your truth teller, somebody that's your cheerleader, and a community to help support you. So for me, in my goal to get to the Ironman World Championships, I needed somebody, and specifically in Kona, I needed somebody that's been there before. Well, Roger, one of the guys that I swim, bike, and run with, has been to the Ironman World Championships in Kona 11 times. Very successful triathlete. So I need to spend time hanging out with him and picking his brains. He's been there before, and I know he can help me get there in the future. I need somebody that's on the same journey as me, somebody that's also trying to qualify for the Ironman World Championships. And here we have Claire, who is trying to, she actually was at the Ironman World Championships last year in Kona, but she's also trying to qualify again this year, the last time I heard. So bouncing, particularly with the podcast, bouncing lots of ideas off her and trying to share that journey together. I need a truth teller that's the person that's going to tell me how it really is, and call me out if I'm not doing what I said I would do. So for that, I have a coach, Will Clark, top triathlete, raced in Team GB at the Olympics, very successful Ironman athlete as well. So he's my truth teller. He helps me build the program, but he also tells me when I'm falling short. I then need a cheerleader. So cheerleader is somebody that kind of is the person that's always positive, clapping you as you go off the start line, clapping as you come back through the finish line. So that for me is Carol, as you would probably expect. And then I need a community. Now, I have a couple of communities here that can help me on this journey. I have my community that help me most, what we call the Rutland Posse. So they're the guys I swim and cycle with, and I'm about to go off to Florida cycling with on Saturday. They're a gang of mostly triathletes, all know what they're doing, all have achieved far more in the sport than I have, so are brilliant at supporting me on my journey. But I actually also have another community, which is the Riot Crew, which is all the people that are coached by the same by Will Clark. So what I wanted to do, also what I decided to do this year for the first time, was when I built my goals in each of those 6 areas, I decided to build my Fab Five, identify who's been there before, who's on the same journey, who's my truth teller, who's my cheerleader, and who's the community that can help support me. And what has been really interesting is it helped me identify people that could support me in achieving those goals, and make me accountable, but also help me achieve those goals. So I've never tried this before, but I found it to be a really worthwhile exercise to go through. And I think over the course of the year, it could prove really instrumental in hitting those goals.